morning. Welcome to Tribune News on Q, your go-to morning news source, only here at the Daily Tribune. We're live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Daily Tribune PH on YouTube, and the Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. For today's headlines. Antonio Carpio warned that the DFA's provisional understanding with China on the Ayungin Shoal resupply missions could undermine the Philippines' sovereign rights under the 2016 Arbitral Award, particularly if expanded across the West Philippine Sea. A commission and audit official told the Senate impeachment court that existing rules on confidential and intelligence funds neither allow nor prohibit the use of aliases in liquidation documents, highlighting gaps in oversight. Former Executive Secretary Vic Rodriguez urged the United States to take former Ako Bicol Representative Saldico into custody, claiming he could provide evidence of alleged corruption involving officials of the International Criminal Court. Jose Melanchon Nartatos Jr. ordered increased police visibility across the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao to help ensure a peaceful parliamentary elections on September 14th. The United Nations said more than 800,000 people displaced by the Israel-Hezbollah war have begun returning to their hometowns in Lebanon, following a lull in the fighting. The PCCI is expanding trade partnerships to help Philippine businesses, particularly MSMEs, access new export markets and emerging investment opportunities. Joji Alonso clarified that a Las Vegas divorce would not be recognized in the Philippines if both spouses remain Filipino citizens, responding to actress Barbie Fortez's remark about marrying abroad. Weary from the grueling 32-hour trip from Manila, Alas Pilipinas found an instant lift upon arrival in Chile ahead of the FIVB Volleyball Girls U17 World Championship. Today is the 6th of August, 2026, Thursday, and I'm Eliana Lacap bringing you today's top stories. Let's kick things off with today's weather. Tropical storm Maymay has made landfall and is now over Banguet, Abra, prompting Pag-asa to keep signal number 2 over parts of Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, Apayao, Abra, Kalinga, and Mountain Province. As of 8 a.m., Maymay packs maximum sustained winds of 65 km per hour, with gusts reaching to 110 km per hour. The storm is forecasted to weaken into a tropical depression as it crosses northern and central Luzon, with heavy rains, strong winds, and possible flooding and landslides expected in affected areas. Now for a traffic update. Light traffic is reported Balintawak Toll Plaza, Mindanao Toll Plaza, Bocaue Toll Plaza, and San Fernando northbound and southbound lanes. All other areas of NLEX, SOTEX, and NLEX connector, including toll plazas and interchanges, are also experiencing light traffic. Now let's move on to this morning's headlines. Retired Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio warned that the Philippines' provisional resupply arrangement with China in Ayungin Shoal could weaken the country's sovereign rights in the West Philippine Sea. Carpio said expanding the arrangement to other areas could require the Philippines to notify and consult China before resupply missions, which he argued is inconsistent with the country's rights under the 2016 Arbitral Award and UNCLOS. He argued the government to withdraw from the deal. The Department of Foreign Affairs, however, maintained that the arrangement has allowed 15 incident-free resupply missions without compromising Philippine sovereignty. Now, a commission and audit official told the Senate impeachment court that current rules on liquidating confidential and intelligence funds neither allow nor prohibit the use of aliases, highlighting gaps in the audit system. Auditor Roderick Wamil said existing guidelines focus only on documentary compliance and do not require auditors to verify whether recipients listed in acknowledgement receipts actually exist. The testimony prompted Senator Panfilo Lacson to call for a review of the rules, saying auditors should have broader authority to verify the legitimacy of intelligence operations and the identities of fund recipients. The former Executive Secretary Vic Rodriguez has called on the United States to take former Ako Bicol Representative Saldico into custody, claiming he could provide information on alleged corruption involving officials of the International Criminal Court. Rodriguez urged U.S. authorities to investigate claims that ICC investigators accepted bribes during the probe into former President Rodrigo Duterte's anti-drug campaign. He cited allegations involving former Senator Antonio Trillanes, which Trillanes and the ICC have denied. Rodriguez presented no evidence but said call statements and affidavits from former Marines should be examined. Now, the Philippine National Police has ordered increased police visibility across the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao ahead of the 14th September parliamentary elections. PNP Chief Police General Jose Molencho Nartates Jr. said there are no active security threats, but authorities are stepping up operations to prevent terrorism, political violence, and other election-related crimes. The PNP is also coordinating with the Commission on Elections, local governments, and the armed forces of the Philippines to monitor potential hotspots. The goal is to ensure safe, peaceful, and violence-free elections under the BARM's new parliamentary system. Now, more than 800,000 people displaced by the Israel-Hezbollah conflict have begun returning to their homes as violence continues to ease, according to the United Nations. As of July 30th, about 821,000 people had returned, although more than 360,000 remain displaced, including around 26,000 staying in government shelters. The development comes as Lebanon and Israel begin a new round of U.S.-mediated peace talks in Rome. The conflict has reportedly killed more than 4,300 people in Lebanon and displaced over 1 million at its peak. The Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry is encouraging micro, small, and medium enterprises to expand into new export markets and take part in major investment projects. PCCI President Perry Ferrer said rising demand for Philippine products such as coconut, mangoes, and durian is creating opportunities in countries like Turkey and Oman. He also highlighted growth in the Luzon Economic Corridor, semiconductor manufacturing, AI data centers, and renewable energy. To help local businesses stay competitive, the Chamber will launch benchmarking programs in Vietnam, Indonesia, and Malaysia. Now, film producer and lawyer attorney Joji Alonso clarified that Barbie Fortesa's joke about getting married in Las Vegas para may divorce would not be legally effective if both spouses are Filipino citizens. Alonso explained that under Philippine law, a divorce obtained abroad by two Filipinos is not recognized, so the marriage remains valid in the country. She noted, however, that different rules apply when one spouse is a foreign national, whose foreign divorce may be recognized in the Philippines. The clarification came after Fortesa's remarks sparked online discussion about divorce laws. Now, after a grueling 32-hour journey from Manila, Alas Pilipinas girls received a warm welcome in Chile as they gear up for the FIVB Volleyball Girls' U17 World Championship from August 6th to 16th. Philippine Ambassador to Chile Celeste Vinzon Balatbat hosted the team for lunch and encouraged the young athletes, saying sports help build discipline, resilience, and character. Inspired by the warm receptions, the Filipinas now shift their focus to their opening match against world number 1 and defending champion China at Liceo Mixto San Felipe. Now, a quick look at today's horoscope. Today calls for quiet confidence, Leo. Success comes from inspiring others rather than seeking the spotlight. Review major financial decisions carefully, especially long-term purchases before making commitments. Travel related to public events, performances, or leadership opportunities may put you in a favorable position. In love, a sincere appreciation expressed in private will strengthen your bond. At work, your ability to solve problems others avoid could open the door to career growth and recognition. Now, Tribune, did you know that on this day in 1945, the United States dropped the world's first atomic bomb used in warfare in Hiroshima, Japan, during the final stages of World War II. The bomb delivered by the Enola Gray killed an estimated 80,000 people instantly, with tens of thousands more dying later from injuries and radiation exposure. 3 days later, a second atomic bomb was dropped on Nagasaki, and Japan announced its surrender shortly afterward, bringing World War II to an end. While the bombings remain among the most consequential events in modern history, they also ushered in the nuclear age and intensified tensions that would shape the Cold War. Now, this morning's viral comes from a TikTok video that has racked up 3.2 million views, featuring a habit that many Asians will instantly relate to. In the clip, a young boy automatically leaves his slippers at the entrance before walking into a fast food restaurant, as if he were entering his own home. The adorable display of pure muscle memory had netizens laughing, with comments like muscle memory and how Asian are you, among many other funny reactions. That's all for now, mga katribo. Join us again at 1 o'clock p.m. for more updates. This has been Eliana Lacap for Tribune News on Q.